to part 2 of our quarterly game for the Gauntlet, which is Hearts of Wulin. We're on part 2 here. I have all of the characters and players who joined us in the first 4 stories. Again, we had so much fun. We thought we'd play some more. So we are going to be in a new province this time around. And that means we're going to establish the area, and some of the new entanglements are going to be part of it. As this is a Gauntlet game, we're using the Gauntlet inclusivity policy, including safety tools such as lines and veils, which is set up, open door, and we will be using the X card throughout play. I put a link to all of these in the first session. In the session notes, so everyone can see what they are if you haven't come across them before. In this particular part 2, because of various bits and pieces, some characters will be dropping in and out over some of the sessions, and other players will be joining us. I believe most of us are back for part 3 in October. So let's get everyone to introduce themselves and their characters. I'm going to ask you to go in my character keeper order, and I'm going to ask Ludo to reintroduce us to Green Owl to begin with.
Hello, I'm Ludo. I go by any and all pronouns, and I'm playing Green Owl, she, her. Green Owl is the leader of the Veiled Forest Emissaries, a group of bandits and rebels. And she used it to serve the first master against the will of her father, which allied with the fourth master and their takeover of the empire. And last arc, she confronted her father, and she managed to recover the broken blades of the first master, as well as reconnecting with her estranged sister.
Thank you very much. And then we have Leandro playing Sable Serpent.
Yeah, so Sable Serpent uses she, her pronouns. She has the student role. Specifically, she's a student of the Blooming Lotus sect, which is a group of assassins that believe in pruning some of the more unruly parts of the world. She was sent to the province of the previous game, basically to go find her teacher, Moonlit Raven, who's kind of gone AWOL. It got involved with a lot of politics, a lot of pushing people around to direct the direction of that province. Didn't go particularly well. I think last time we saw her, she had her teacher by the ropes, but someone decided it was better to humiliate them and leave them alive than kill them. And so now she's kind of like, her mission's unfulfilled, but she's less bright-eyed and more naively clinging to ideals at this point, I think, and paranoid, and a bit looking over her shoulder at all times. Really paranoid. Yeah, poor thing.
Yeah, I saw some amazing roleplay from all of the characters last time around, but Leandro's look of shock and Sable Serpent when realised that he'd been probably betrayed was awesome. Good. Yes, of course, Moonlit Raven. Wonder if we'll see her again. Probably. And the Noble Tiger Eye, played by Sabine.
Yeah, hello. My name's Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Tiger Eye, he, him. He is the leader of the rebels of the Hidden Valley. He is the son of the former custodian of the province we started play in, and the former custodian was murdered, most foully, because he was he died in a duel, but before he died, he was poisoned, so he would lose the duel. And by now, for some reason, we had a rather confused conversation with Sable Serpent, and now Tiger Eye believes that Sable Serpent, who was his former friend, he thought had poisoned his father, which she didn't, as we as players know that it was Moonlit Raven, but in the conversation it came out a little like that could have been her. Also, he confronted the evil new custodian in a duel and he won, but during the whole thing, his former lover, Ming, was killed by the custodian, and I believe that her spirit is now infused into one of his blades. So there's maybe a problem there, or maybe not, who knows. Despite anything, he believes now that it is Green Owl's fate to become the new fourth master, and that he has to install her, because that's the right thing to do, and that's the kind of person he is, to do the right thing, even if it kills him or anybody else.
Excellent, thank you very much. And then Ping, the Dirty Fist, played by Mikael, as our final character.
Yeah, I'm Mikael. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing, I guess now gonna be, I think I'm gonna just stay with Dirty Fist now, as her profile got raised a little bit after the end of last session. But she is a regular kind of citizen, I guess. Nothing special about her upbringing and stuff. Her father worked at like a dojo or something like that, like I think, and but it was killed during like the overthrow of the current regime, when being doing martial arts were forbidden for anyone else than people in power. And she's now running this this fighting gym for regular people, like illegally, more like a community center, really. Yeah, and in the last episode, we, I guess, saw her fighting with chairs once again, and let Moonlit Raven go to get some XP, of course.
And for the drama, there's definitely the drama.
Of course.
Awesome. So I think everyone has got certain entanglements we will need to rebuild very shortly. Entanglements are a very important currency in Hearts of Wulin. They are the romantic and personal plots that your characters are looking to, or the characters you're looking to play. As we move on to this new province, it's my belief that Huo, and we've lost the name of, we need a characters tab actually, Sable Serpent's brother have remained to keep order and keep the province of Baoji from the being retaken by the Emperor, the Fourth Master. So though they may reappear, they are probably off camera at this point, giving us a chance for a new set of the relationships and NPCs to define this part of the story. So I've got 8 establishing questions. I'm going to ask them out, and then I want people to answer 2 apiece. And these are moving in new relationships, new nemesis, and setting up this new province. So let's start with this first question. This is a mountaintop province. It is with grassy plains that come up with steep peaks. The mists and the snow cover around the lands, making it easy to fade away into the mountain crags when the mists are high and the clouds are low. It is one of the most ancient provinces of the empire, but this mountain-type province is renowned for its beauty. Describe the thing of beauty that astounded you when you first came here. Anyone like to pick that one up?
Well, I can, I guess.
Thanks, Sabine.
I think the first thing that astounded me was the clarity of the air. Our former province, where we were first, was a valley province. There was often a slight haze or mist to be seen, but not here. When you get high enough, the air is so clear you can see for miles and miles and all perfect clarity. And that was quite astounding. And there is not so much in the way of woods that would obscure your sight. You can just look until the horizon.
Lovely. Anyone got any questions for Sabine on that, or wants to add anything else into this? Because I think this is painting the scene for the sort of land and environments we're going to see. Okay. So next question. When the second master, Turbulent Stone, and the fourth master is now the Emperor dueled here, the fight was so monumental it left a visible scar on the land. What is it?
I can answer that one. I think maybe that there's like this top of a mountain that is like fallen down, so you just see it looks like it's flat on top. Because they like, I don't know, there was some kind of the whole mountainside like fell down because of the battle. Of course, the people just say that it was because of the greatness of the battle, but perhaps there was a strategical maneuver involved.
Mm-hmm. I like the visuals of that, strategic or whatever, but that mountain collapsing, presumably those rocks must have rolled down and done damage somewhere. How many people were injured or perished in that final battle? Was it silent and just between the two of them, or was it reckless?
Asking this to the table or me?
I'll keep you with you a minute, Michael, if you can, just to clue that one up.
I mean, I imagine this place is less populated. So what signifies as a large battle here is not as large as it would be in other places. But I think like in the thousands of people, perhaps. But on the lower side.
Mm-hmm.
Like 8,000.
Yeah. Cool. So, when one of you fought one of the Dragon Mask warriors here for the first time, pulled away their mask, what shocked and terrified you? I'm going to pick on... people have gone quiet. I'm going to ask Ludo to answer that one for me.
So, what terrifies me is that the skin of the dragon masked warriors on this region, it seems to be carrying the signals of some disease that seems to affect only them. Something like the land is rejecting them and it's twisting the flow of the elements within their bodies. And whenever they use their empowered martial arts, it seems to be speeding up the process of their decomposition. So they seem to be rotting while they are still alive, and it was terrifying.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love establishing questions powered by the apocalypse, because I would have never come up with that. And now I've got at least 3 plot ideas in my head. Lovely. Let's ask Leandro then. The people here are among the most ancient in the 4 kingdoms. Describe how the people of this place have left their mark here.
I think most ancient. I think how they left their mark is they're almost prideful in how much they actually like haven't. So they'll say like there are places in this world, there are landmarks that have been here since time immemorial, and they've never like ruined it or touched it. Like there are brooks and rivers, and there are like, ooh, here it is. I think there's a legend here that there are certain statues. They're just they didn't carve from the earth. They were just there. You know, they were carved by the elements, and the people here say that we've taken care of these statues, carved into the ground or from the mountain walls. But they say that they found these statues. They didn't like make them themselves, and they've spent all their time. They passed on stories of these statues throughout generations, generations to come, and those stories are always like these statues almost like sprang from the earth, so to speak. So that's what they kind of left, those kind of stories.
Awesome. I like that. So I think one that comes really nicely out of that is that the people of this province are nomadic, who gave you shelter when they first arrived and who showed you friendship. And we want to name these people as well. Anyone like to take that one? Then I'm going to ask Ludo to answer that one for me, if no one's going to volunteer.
So most of the people that go to the border between this province and the others, they are kind of the merchants here. So they don't brave the actual mountain passes and the brooks and whatnot, so they stick more to where there's still connections to the roads. So they have these large wagons, so they have these pretty much mobile villages, and the headmaster of one of those, one of the merchant princes of the region, Hao Biao, he welcomed us because he recognized that the interference from the forces of the emperor were disrupting the balance of the trade within the region, which is their main focus. As there's a merchant people, they are more worried about making sure that the right thing is distributed to the right person rather than profit. So they fear that the interference with this is going to bring the same greed that has infected other provinces. So they were pretty willing to receive Greenau as famous distributor of sorts.
Cool. Like that. Who did you share a night with before realizing they were the first blade of the Emperor? And I'd rather someone chose that before forcing a romantic entanglement upon you. And I think you should be willing to play into.
I could use a new romantic entanglement anyway.
Sure.
So, who did you share a night with? I think that was on an occasion where, well, let me think. How did that come to happen? I think there has to have been some kind of fight against someone or something before we shared a night together, and yeah, maybe they were in disguise, and some of the dragon soldiers, they didn't see through the disguise, obviously, and they harassed this person, and as Tiger Eye was a witness, he of course intervened to save this poor old lady, and maybe he bit off a bit more than he could chew, but then she threw aside her widow's wails and joined the fight because she was intrigued, I guess, by this rather weird young rebel. And after that fight was done, they spent the night together, and in the morning when he asked her who she was, she told him that she was the first blade of the emperor, and she has to have a name, right? Now I have to give her a name, which I will presently, once I find the tab with the names on them. And I think her name is... Oh, I like this one. And I like this one. Damn. And her name is... damn it. There's so many good names. Sorry. We have... Yeah, well... No, we can have that one. Oh, I like that one. Moonsworn Heart. That's lovely.
What was that supposed to be? It was Wolf.
I write it. Moonsworn Heart. Moonsworn Heart.
Ah, that is nice.
Yeah.
So, thank you for painting that ill-fated romance so well. Stones of this place carry the whispers of ghosts. Which spirit has followed you to this place? And any takers? I think we got Mikhail and Leandro still. We need to offer a second question.
That depends. I'll ask Mikhail if you want to take this question or the other one.
I mean, I'm a little bit tempted to say Moonlit Raven.
The thing is, she's still alive, right?
Yeah, but
I'm still happy to say that maybe Moonlit Raven. I'll rephrase the question to let me rephrase the question then. The whispers of ghosts have told you who has followed you to this place, and then we can introduce Moonlit Raven, because we really want to see Moonlit Raven again, right? That's got to come to a head at some point. So maybe you'd like to describe how the spirits talked and communed with you and told you that Moonlit Raven is following Ping.
Well, have we seen people talk to spirits before?
Have we seen? No, we haven't.
Well, I think perhaps like on the way here, we stopped at this like place where this big battle was, and I think you probably see in the scene that Dirty Fist like just is probably like behind the others, and then just I think you see her like stop and look to her side, and I think you see like on the screen that there's like I don't know, I imagine like the spirits they look frozen, kind of like blue since it's cold here. I mean, also, and there was just like someone, I think actually a pretty like young girl with like still armed and stuff, that like says, "You have a raven following you. Watch your steps, or you might end up like me."
Awesome. Portentous. Sabine offered in the chat that we could call this place like the value of, she said 8,000 ghosts, but I think we said the numbers are a bit lower than that. So the value of 1,000 ghosts is at the bottom of the mountain where the masters fought. And Leandro, who among your faction did you not expect to see in this mountain province?
Ooh. Well, I think it's much. It's a bit. It's like didn't expect because she didn't want to see her in this place. I think here in this province is a rival of mine from back when we were like apprentices or novices in the Blooming Lotus set. She was a bit more, let's say, fanatical about about the precepts of the sect. She's just a bit more less wide-eyed and more just straightforward, more just she's someone who looked at me as who saw me as naive because I was, and she was someone who like was more in tune with what the sect is, which a bunch of killers. Her name is Scarlet Mantis, and I think I didn't expect. I think I either I saw. I don't think I met her. It's more like I saw her, a glimpse of her in like in a crowd or in a crowded area, and now same with Serpent because she's paranoid at this point. Now wonders, has Scarlet Mantis been sent for her? Much like how she's been sent to go after Moonlit Raven.
Let's play to find out. That could go any number of ways. I think that would be lovely to explore. Awesome. So we have reset our worlds. Anyone want to add anything more to that or ask any other questions of each other? If not, I would suggest you want to take 5-10 minutes just to rethink your relationships and entanglements and highlight those for today's session.
I've got a question. I have written down in my character that I have a second advance, but I haven't filled out what it was. So I don't know. Have I taken that? Have I forgotten that? Was that in the middle of a session that I couldn't be bothered? Also, I guess my element is unchecked now, right?
Yeah, uncheck any elements that are checked. Keep your XP as it is. You're all experienced enough players that if you would have probably removed that if you hadn't taken it. So yes, take another advance. I think Sabine. Can people have probably took 2 advances probably in the last game? Roughly, is that about right? That just means everyone else coming in, I'll give them 1 advance, so they're not starting completely green along you guys. So okay, let's spend a few minutes putting in our updating our entanglements, and then we'll explain those back to each other, and then we'll start going. What I think obviously we need to do game wise today is we do need to role play into the idea that Green Owl is likely to leave the party for a few weeks, so we need something suitably epic for Green Owl. I think I've got an idea of that, but we'll see how it unfolds. Okay, folks. So let's take 5 minutes of writing furiously. Whilst you're doing that, I'm quickly going to grab a coffee. I'm loving that all of the love relationships are shifting. You're all such fickle beasts, a lot of you.
Well, I'm staying true to Tiger Eye, even if Tiger Eye would not want me.
Best love triangle ever. Green Owl, if you want to introduce maybe one of the mountain bandits, that could be someone that would aim for your troublemaker one.
Yeah, but I think actually, because it's Tiger Eye that is asking, so maybe someone that would be a friend to Tiger Eye, but they cannot help directly, maybe.
We also still have Tiger Eye's sidekick as well. Where's his name?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Sabine was asking, like, why are we bringing him back?
No, his name is Why.
Oh, yeah, I remembered. Yeah, well,
That's true. I mean, to help I get used to this rebel in the mountains ways that as this experience, right?
He went and did training while Tiger Eye was in the dungeon, so he's a little bit competent now. Not very, but a little bit.
But he still likes to drink? Or have you given up?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
That's the best thing to do. You'll be surprised how many of his raids always include bringing back barrels of rice wine.
I am not.
Oh, God.
I am not at all surprised.
You haven't been to a party if you haven't been to a Y party.
I have been to a Y party.
I'm sure he is taking to the mountain bandit lifestyle like Snowish.
Maybe they brew a stronger beverage over there than the rice wine we have in the valley, and they have some clear mountain spirits that would totally tempt Y to go for that.
That makes sense for me.
Jeez, everyone's going for Moonsworn Heart.
Yeah, I was just thinking, maybe I should.
I see some proper dueling going on this time.
think I'm the only one who needs to write entanglement, and I'm struggling a bit.
See if we can help Leandro then, gang.
I know I definitely want to involve that rival, Scarlet Mantis, but I'm not sure how.
Maybe you could involve Crystal Willow in this whole thing.
Ooh. Either that or just complete the quadrangle and involve Moonsworn Heart.
Yeah, sure.
We have the
Go
new.
for
Whoa!
I mean,
Oh, no.
you're already there because you love Tiger Eye, so you're already part of it.
Let's see. Moonsworn Heart is the Emperor's Blade. The thing is, there's one that's really good, but it kind of involves Tiger Eye again, and I know they didn't say you probably shouldn't double up on those sort of entanglements.
What?
But the thing is,
Read it out and let's see if we can. I think we can be flexible, and they might change as game.
yeah, it has to change because I checked the other
Yeah.
sessions, and the other two that I'm in won't be with Tiger Eye, so they will have to change. These two have to change anyway. So maybe just for today. My rival, Scarlet Mantis, my rival, knows about the bad actions I did to the family of my friend Tiger Eye. Well, I didn't do those bad actions, but somehow she just knows.
Maybe she knows that I think you did.
Yeah.
Certain point of view.
Certain. I tried to clear up. Tiger Eye just ran away before I could.
Because he didn't want to kill you.
Well, you didn't have to because I didn't do.
I didn't know that.
I was gonna tell you. You ran away.
So I was going to sort of assume you were all traveling together, but that's probably not the case, is it? There's at least one separation in the group.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out in a sec. Who's traveling with whom?
Yeah, I think I'll use that entanglement for now because I'll have to change both in the future.
It's that's a good one. So I think probably again that's an important relationship one to try and make sure we lead into. Okay, so I think we are sorted on that. I'm going to run through them to make sure I'm understanding them correctly, and for anyone who does watch these, hopefully I'm going to get hopefully our fellows that will join us in later games will at least watch these playthroughs. So let's go in reverse order this time, and we'll start with Ping. Ping, your first entanglement, you have hidden your true identity from Moonsworn Heart because of your past with Tian. So that seems to suggest you have some sort of relationship with Moonsworn Heart. How do you know them, and how are you keeping yourself?
I mean, I think that I mean I was there when this thing happened. No, I think so. And she. Although Tiger Eye didn't realize, it wasn't very hard to see that this was someone of importance and hiding very poorly for me, of course.
Sure.
And I think the reason that I'm hiding my identity to her is because Dirty Fist became like the poster child of like the downfall of Custodian Tian. And it's kind of like there's like there's been this. I imagine like these kind of flyers that the poor people have been handing around with these like dirty fist, the hero of the people or something like that. So she hides herself. So that because of course she thinks Moonsworn Heart has interest in keeping the things as they are.
Grand. So I think it is likely after your actions previously that everyone is properly wanted now with the bounty on your head. Good. And then your sibling Crystal Willow was sent to the Valley of 1,000 Ghosts after your father's death. Promise Tiger Eye, this won't distract me from our important mission. So when you say sent, do you mean she is visiting or she is deaded and is one of the ghosts?
No, I think she got sent away. She's my older sibling. And unlike me, she was trained in martial arts at that gym where my father worked.
Sure.
And when after he was killed, she was sent away because people especially of non-noble families who knew martial art were wanted.
Yeah. So she was sent into the mountains to continue her training. Why does Tiger Eye think this will distract you? What's your important mission, and why do you think that's going to distract you?
I don't know, Tiger Eye.
Yeah, we're here to see to the downfall of the false masters, aren't we? And if you go now hunting for your sister, who might be not in danger at all or anything, that would distract you. I mean, if that's what you want to do, sure, go. But if you're in this all out.
Yeah. And I promised you I wouldn't do that, so I'm surely going to break that promise.
Well, yeah, I've taken this very nice new move that if you break a promise to me, I can do bad things.
Oh no! Perfect timing.
Who hasn't broken a promise to Tiger Eye so far? Tiger Eye, you suspect your former friend Sable Serpent poisoned my father, Peerless Falcon. I think we know that, and we've established in backstory. But I assume that you have travelled separately up until this point.
Yeah. Yes, I would not. I don't want to talk to her right now because I think she poisoned my father, and if I meet her, I will have to. This will have to have consequences, and I don't want that because I like her. I think she was my friend, and I don't know. I'm confused anyway. So better not to see her. Better not to talk about her, and then just forget the whole. Can't forget the whole thing about my father, right? So I'm focusing on other things right now.
You failed your former lover, Ming, and are haunted by a spirit. The bad thing is only you can see her spirit. So
she's
no
in
one
my
else
sword,
knows.
right? She's in my sword, right?
She is, yeah, I think that's right. But she travels, and she's like a voice who talks to you and appears at firesides, and is a hungry ghost.
And I'm talking to my sword.
But you feel something from Moonsworn Heart, who is still the sword of the Emperor. So
yes.
Why would you still retain feelings for such a monstrous creature?
We had this night, and it was before I knew who she was, and now we had this night, and I'm feeling like I have to feel something for her, right? Because we had this, and there was this. You can't just go and have a night with someone and not feel something for her. That would be wrong, I think. I don't know. I'm confused, as I said.
We need to explore the confusion. All good fun. Then across to Sable Serpent, you love Tiger Eye, but your teacher Moonlit Raven killed someone dear to them. And
I almost want to make a challenge to like keep that entanglement till October, but then I forgot that I'm not going to see Tiger Eye next time I'm here. So I might bring that back in October. Whatever. I don't know what happened. Depends on what happens today.
if your aim is to let that stay on sheet for a while, I will try my best to help that happen. Which probably means keeping you apart from Tiger Eye in this session, okay? But mostly, unless you have those evil looks at each other across battlefields or something. Scarlet Mantis, your rival, knows about the bad actions I did to the family of my friend Tiger Eye.
I actually did figure out maybe another entanglement that actually does involve Moonsworn Heart. Might as well. But Scarlet Mantis, my rival, has sworn to kill me, but I promised Moonsworn Heart that I will not harm them because the two of them are siblings.
Say that one to me again.
Scarlet Mantis, my rival, has sworn to kill me, but I've promised Moonsworn Heart that I will not harm them because they're siblings.
So Scarlet Mantis is your sister, yeah?
No. Moonsworn Heart and Scarlet Mantis are siblings.
Ah, right. Okay. Now I understand. Right, got you. Family trees. Yeah. Right, lovely. Okay. Green Owl, you promised your friend Tiger Eye that you would aid the troublemaker Wei. So it sounds like you've been traveling with Wei and trying to maybe open supply lines in the mountains for a while. What's the problem with Wei? He's lovely. He's the life and soul of the party.
Yeah, the problem is that there is not many parties, and this place is full of ancient grottos, the temples of the oldest people that perfectly mesh with the environment, and it's really easy to get lost. And I keep trying to get away to hide stash of wine or to organize secret parties, and they kept getting into more and more trouble. And whenever we keep him in lockdown, they just get miserable. And then if party ready eye is a handful, nobody likes to be around sober eye.
So you've also rejected Hao Bao, the merchant prince, but Moonsword Heart, who you desire, loves Hao Bao. So it's got to be something we've got to bring Tiger Eye into a conflict with very soon, I think. Anything you want to add to that one? I think it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I will say that keeping a good relationship with Albiao is probably our best chance, and we cannot antagonize them much.
Okay, lovely. Right, then. Whom is traveling with Tiger Eye, or are you all traveling alone? Who's traveling with Tiger Eye first? Let's establish that one, if we could. I was looking down from the screen there. Did anyone raise their hand?
Yes.
So, Ping and Tiger Eye are together. Are Green Owl and Sable Serpent together, or are they separate?
Well, they're already kind of working together that last session.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be fine, I guess. It's up if it's okay with Ludo, we'll probably be traveling together.
Okay. Lovely. Then let's set the first scene, which is
before we start, I have a start of session move. Sorry.
Oh yes, my fault. Does anyone have any start of session moves other than Leandro? Let me know. But Sable Serpent, roll for it. Did you see the link to the room?
Did not. I think.
Let me.
There it is.
Yeah, all right, you got it.
Found it. It's that set here. That's really quietly fancy. Which they shouldn't be. They should be loud and proud about that. Okay. Well. Share colors and submit. Oh, that's 6. So I mark XP and the GM gains a soft move from Fate for later use. Yeah, soft. Yeah. Soft.
Whoa. That'd be nice. Okay. Lovely. So which move were you just running there? Sorry, you were
Face to
face
face.
to face. Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to set the first scene. It is craggy mountains in a misty valley. You have been traveling with Hao Bao, Green Owl, and Sable Serpent. He is concerned that there are bandits in the passes and wants to ensure that this set of goods he is traveling up to the higher mountains gets there safely. To take you through these mountain passes, which are quite labyrinthian if you wouldn't know your way, he has traded his experience in getting through them for your help in protecting. I will give you, well, I say, let's hard frame it. I think there is the noise of the horse's hooves on the ground, clip, clip, clipping, but then you start hearing that noise of stones falling down from the side of the ravine in a way that suggests something is up there. What do you do, Greeno?
Green Owl points at that. That's an ambush. And they are not even trying to be subtle about it. Which means they want to draw us out of the road to see where they might be hiding, and then spread out. Look to the flanks and behind.
Okie dokie. So, so you're searching around for any possible. I think you're actually trying to study your surroundings at this point.
Okay, so I'm going to say water. And I have an 11. And let's see if any of my moves applies, because most of them are with studying. Not really, I think.
I'd give you access to Thief of Thieves.
Yeah, but that... Yeah.
Up to you.
Okay, so let's start with the first questions, then maybe I'll Thief of Thieves. So I have 3 questions. Let's see. Okay, what are the threats on this location?
There are where you are is a place where archers could rain down fire upon you, but you imagine what they want is in they wouldn't want to destroy. So I think your biggest concern is there are probably archers up there. You could, if you were fast, get yourself up hidden and through gaps in the mountain.
Okay, so so the second question, I'm gonna use Thief of Thieves, and my question is, how can I get to the archers without them notice that we got the jump on them?
There are, you can see small where the weather has battered the rocks and the mountain sides in the past, you could get yourself up quickly and quietly, providing you move with speed. This would allow you to go above them and probably get the drop on them.
Okay, so I signal to the others, come with me. I can get the jump on them. They'll not be expecting if we are fast. So because the speed is going to be fire, and I guess this is going to be an overcome.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Oh, 7. So I'm gonna have a cost, I think. So yeah, you must pay a cost if you are leading others. I'm gonna say that this movement, I don't draw attention to on the archers, but someone else, a third party that has been patrolling the region, notices as it approaches the caravan.
Sure. So as you're doing that, how does Sable Serpent interact? What's Sable Serpent doing?
I think she's actually probably staying behind to keep watch over the Merchant Prince. Just to be like, we're not sending to, well, okay, they wouldn't know these are the player characters, but we're not going to send 2 of them into an ambush. No, she's sticking behind with the Merchant Prince. Just make sure no one kind of slips past Green Owl, or at least someone's there to keep watch.
Okay. So you can hear the voices coming down, Sable Serpent, from the still misty tops of the hills, and you can hear someone say, "Ho, travelers, if you leave your carts and travel away by foot, there does not need to be conflict. We only want your goods, not your lives."
I think Sable Serpent calls out to the mist. On whose authority?
They laugh. They laugh loudly and says, "You have entered the ground of the hunting grounds of the Eagle Sentinel. You have not paid your taxes. We are here to collect with interest."
I think I turn to Habao and asks, just ask, kind of like a bit snarkily, like, "Are you subject to their taxes?"
He shrugs his shoulders and says, "She is the most capable of the bandits that take these lands, and perhaps we should pay, but I thought with you 2 to defend me, there would be no need to pay. I am right, yes?"
Well, you're not wrong. And I think Sable Serpent calls out back to the mist. Myself and my comrade have talked, and, well, given these troubled times, we have no reason to what's the word? To submit to your authority, for we do not recognize it.
I respect your bravery. The eagles will grow strong by feasting on your corpse. And you can hear the bow strings being twanged and stretched above. Let's see at this point. You are faster than the others, Green Owl, and you have come up silently. The others, including Hui, is just behind you, but you will have to act first, if you so wish to. You have the drop, and you're behind the one who was just talking.
I guess I just want to knock them out as soon as they finish speaking. Just hammer a ball to the back.
It is a duel with someone who is at lesser scale.
Probably, unless other people intervene.
Oh no, they are at lesser scale to you. They are a bandit, not equal to your scale. So you have the drop on them. So you are rolling the duel with your style element against a foe of lesser scale.
Okay. Oh! I got a 4. Oh, interesting.
On a fail, you win, but you mark an element. They escape, and then they return at a higher scale. So you come down with hammer blow, and you fail to hit them, perhaps hitting the stone instead and sending echoes across the ravine. Arrows and archers suddenly turn to point at you as this figure looks really deeply surprised because he's sure he saw you down in the bottom of the valley only moments ago. I think he looks at you and says, "Ha! You're fast. I won't make that mistake again. Who are you?"
I am Green Owl from the Veiled Forest Emissaries, and you still have a lot to learn about banditry.
And from behind you, you hear a voice, and there is a woman dressed in finest silks and a mask over her face. She has a spear in her hand, and she's looking down at you. Like you said, and you have a lot to learn about ambushes in mountains. Well
I'm
played.
willing to learn when I take your people and I take you and you as my lieutenants.
She laughs and says, "If you think you're capable of taking me in a duel, I am Eagle Sentinel. We will meet at the head of this valley. And if you beat me, then I will follow you. If I beat you, I will take these goods as my own, and you will follow me."
Let's drink to that, sister.
You're bold. I like you. You can hear the uncocking of arrows. In the acoustics of the valley, everything that was said up there was heard. Hao Bo looks at Sable Serpent and says, "What is he up to?" What is she up to? I'm not giving my goods away. This isn't the agreement.
Well, that's Green Owl for you. Bit delicate, bit emotional, but I put my trust on her. She, by the end of today, you'll find that perhaps her ranks will swell up and we'll get through this pass with a minimum of fuss. I think she had her knives out and ready, but she just kind of sheets them like, all right, shit, there's a duel. I guess I have to trust Green Owl now.
Good. Okay. Let's cut across to Tiger Eye and Ping. This is the night before you've made camp somewhere in the higher grasslands. The mist dropped down into the mountain and made travel almost impossible. Tiger Eye, describe how the camp looks, and if there's anyone with you other than Ping.
I think there are some of the rebels of the Hidden Valley with us, but not too many. I think a small troop, 5 or 6 people in all. I guess we have a campfire because that's what we should have. And maybe we found an abandoned shepherd's hut, like kind of something that if you were a shepherd that you would use to stay if it was raining or storming or something like that. And we're using that as our kind of base, but the campfire is outside. And there are a few horses there because we have horses now, because we are important or something like that. I think one of my rebels is maybe cooking and another one singing a bit. So, and Tiger Eye sits at the fire and broodingly looks at his sword, of course.
And where do we find Ping in this scene?
Eating. Around the campfire, probably. Yeah.
So, Sable Serpent, looking into your sword, you can see as the firelight catches it.
Do you mean Tiger Eye?
Sorry, Tiger Eye. I'm looking at the wrong bit of the cheek there. You can see the face of Ming staring back at you. She looks at you and asks, "And what is your plan, Tiger Eye, now?"
My plan is we will take this province, and then we will take the next one until the true masters are reinstated.
And do you do this for justice, Tiger Eye, or is there a hole in your heart that you can never fill again?
I am doing it for justice. You have left no hole in my heart.
And I think Ping is like, who are you talking to?
Oh, it's sort of a prayer to the spirits that inhabit the sword. It is an ancient weapon.
Oh.
And I turn it away from the fire so I can't see Ming's face anymore. I'm praying for us to be successful in our quest for justice.
Okay, I was a little worried there for a second.
No, you do not need to be worried. It is a custom in my family to talk to our swords.
A single tear. You can just see that single tear falling down Ming's face as you turn it aside as she looks down forlorn.
I stand up and I have to watch the perimeter. Maybe there is some kind of. I heard there were bandits in these hills.
It's not like there's anything to steal from us.
They can steal our lives. Ping, and there are other things that bandits might take that are not precious metals or anything like that.
Okay, you watch out then.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And I will just walk around the camp looking out for any kind of enemy that there might be. And and I will, of course, look at the food kind of a bit suspiciously because, there might be poisoners about.
Poor Tiger Eye, gone a little bit off the deep end.
A bit. Well.
Sometime after you take your watch, Tiger Eye, you can hear footsteps and see a lantern lit as someone is coming up the path towards you.
I will call out. Who goes there? And I will call out loudly so that Ping might hear it and the others.
Ping is more than yes, Ping can definitely hear it. The others are probably not quite as attuned and always aware as Ping is and are enjoying their meal. Ping, would you like to join this scene before I describe anything else?
I think like Ping like pretends to be asleep for now. Maybe aiming for an element of surprise.
It's a solo figure then, Tiger Eye, and it is a young woman dressed in the clothing and carrying the weapons that you would expect in this region. What does she look like, Tiger Eye? What type of clothing is she wearing?
What? Oh, people in this region, I think they wear sturdy clothes, warm clothes. Mostly wool, because there are lots of sheep and goats and stuff like that. Yeah, I think sheep mostly. So that's what I would expect her to wear, like a overcoat of wool and sensible underclothes, sturdy boots. And the people here, I think they use staffs mostly, or spears or something like that, something that gives them range against, because I imagine lots of them are shepherds or something, and then if you're fighting wolves, you wouldn't use swords.
Yeah,
maybe she has a bow.
Yes, we'll say that. She has a bow and the staff and the lantern hands off it. And she says, "Well met. I am seeking the rebels of the Hidden Valley and Tiger Eye. You match their description."
I am Tiger Eye.
She bows and says, "I am a friend. I have come to help you deal with a great injustice."
Well, friends are always welcome at a campfire. Might I know who you are, or what to call you?
My name is Scarlet Mantis. I am the Brooding Lotus sect, and I have come to assist you in the recovery of the traitorous Sable Serpent.
Tiger Eye reacts a bit reservedly to that. Your honesty does you credit. Scarlet Mantis, please join us at the fire.
I come offering apologies for my the expelled member of our school. He has betrayed our ideals, and I am here to help you avenge the great slight on you and your family.
That is most welcome. Please take a seat. Have a cup of our stew. We have stew.
You're kind.
Well,
your reputation precedes you.
Thank you. I was, nonetheless, I was under the impression that the heinous deed was done on behest of your sect.
Sable Serpents was under the tutelage of another and corrupted her and our teachings.
Tiger Eye gets up and starts walking around nervously, like, that is hard to believe. No, I'm sorry, forgive me. That is hard to hear. I do not know if it is hard to believe. I thought she was my friend.
I believe she puts her hand on yours and offers support. And says, "It is always difficult when one who you would consider a friend and ally betrays you."
Oh, I shrug off her support because I've got to move for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I shrug off her support and I say, well, the truth must be faced with a clear eye. If she is a villain, then she needs to be treated as such. And I turn to her and with a stern face say, I will help you hunt her down. She shall not escape justice. And my move says, heroes shed no tears. When you reject someone's comfort, friendship, or love, or support, clear an element and take a bond with them. So I won't clear an element because I have none marked, but I will take a bond with dear old Scarlet Mantis.
Lovely.
Which is really cool. And I'm very sorry.
I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash, or there will be a terrible duel or something. So we set those two scenes. It's just gone 11:30. Let's just take 10 minutes or so there for bio break and the like, and then we'll come back together at about 1:45 the hour. So I think we'll pick back up with Green Owl and Sable Serpent in the caravan, dealing with the ramifications of Green Owl's bet, for want of a better word. Green Owl, what do the caravans and the wagons look like as you carry on your journey?
So the proper wagons in which they live, usually they cannot make the way through the mountain passes. So they are very small carts, each of them pulled by an ox or a donkey. And they all carry neatly packed, insulated with skins and oil barrels of whatever the goods are, to protect from the tricky weather here up here in the mountains and keep them safe for long-term storage.
Okay, so on these wagons, you have stopped for a while, going out of the most dangerous part of this pass, where you cannot be ambushed again. But how Mao gathers Green Owl and Sable Serpent together and is furious. Looks at Green Owl. You said, "You vile woman, you have put me and my people at risk. For what? Are you so sure that you can defeat this bandit queen?"
Relax. If we cannot deal with this Eagle Sentinel, what chance we have against the Empire? We need to be bold and show the people of the province that we mean business. We cannot just meager around and scatter like mice. We have to show them that we are willing to back our words with metal.
Looks at you and says, "We are carrying armaments and food for bandits higher in the mountains in the passes. If this doesn't get to them, then they will stop. And our insurrection here will be put back years."
It is as I say, if our insurrection cannot deal with these banditry problems and turn these into our advantage, we are already doomed.
I know another pass. It's hard to get through, but we could avoid the conflict at the head of the valley. What do you think, Sable Serpent?
I think I look at Green Owl and I say, like, well, as much as I've seen proof that you back your bravado with results, it would be prudent of us to think of an alternative. This other path might be an alternative. Then again, this opportunity to recruit could be taken. But we have more priorities.
Yes, I agree with that. There's no sense to risking everyone. After all, the duel is between the two of us. So there's no sense to involve anyone else. And I have as much claim to the ownership of the goods as she has, because they are not my goods. They do not belong to me. And yes, if I lose, on the rare eventuality of that happening, then yes, I should help her acquire the goods. However, that can be very complicated if you took another path along the mountain and delivered goods safely. So I think I will meet her for the duel, And you, Sable Serpent, you can make sure that the caravan arrives safely.
Always the hero, aren't you?
Well, that's what they call me, so it's better that after all these years hiding in the forests, I start to actually playing the role.
Well, you wear it better than... Well, of the two of us, you wear it better.
This pass will take you to the end of the... It takes you very close to where Turbulent Stone and the Fourth Master fought. You'll be at the base of the valley and close to the ruined village that is now the Valley of 1,000 Ghosts. I don't believe that she has chosen this place without meaning. I implore you, come with us. No one will think less of you.
I will think less of me. I will go, and no matter what is there, whatever ghosts are there, I will learn about what it is. And even if I lose, so what? I have to serve her for a few moments. That's fine enough. Then I can learn how they operate, and they can learn what they want, and I can take them from within. There is no way that I can lose, even if defeat is certain.
You're foolish. A foolish hero. Go then. Put your life on the line. I will not put my people on the line. We have other duties to perform. Your vile ego is not for me. I'll draw down the scene at that point, unless anyone's got to say anything.
Actually, no. I think I want this scene later. I'd want a quick moment with Greenal before she goes after a duel.
Well, let's cut back to the others, and then we'll come back to you. I'll make a note that we do want to cover a short interlude there in a second. Morning at the hut that you had made, camp in. So, Tiger Eye and Ping, as leaders of this merry band, your soldiers are getting ready to move. Your bandits. What is your destination, and where are you trying to go?
That's a good question. Where are we trying to go? I think what we might try to find is the sword of the Fourth Master, because recovering all the swords of the Masters seems like something we might want to do. So we would naturally then head out to the place where the last battle between this, what was his name? Something Stone?
Turbulent Stone.
Turbulent Stone and the false, whoever it was.
So you're on a... So the Fourth Master is the Emperor. So the Second Master was who fell here. That's right. Fine. So yes, you've been on a quest up here to... The mountain itself was the highest mountain in the valley, and that's where they dueled and fought and took the top off the mountain itself.
Yeah, I think that's maybe our destination, unless we have some kind of rumor about a weaponsmith, because we need to reforge, as Ludo wrote, we need to reforge the green dragon sword as well. So we need a master weaponsmith.
I think let's keep you towards the mountain at the moment, where I can probably draw some things together.
Cool.
Good. Ping, what does Ping do to keep the morale of the your troops and fellow rebels up? This is a cold and steep climb, and these are people from the lowlands and the woods.
I think. It's a good question. I think just like going with them, and like if people have problems, helping to get them up, being a part of like the regular troops.
Okay. They are reluctant to go, why do we need to go up the mountain? We could guard the pass for you. You could climb up the mountain yourself.
Yes, we could, and then you will have to go around it to find us again.
It's a valid point. Fine, we will climb the mountain, but don't you feel it's a bad place? One of the masters died there.
And I think Ping like shrugs and, well, why would that matter? Is the ghost of the master more important than the ghost of someone like you think?
I don't like ghosts. There are too many ghosts in the mountains. It was better in the woods. We should never have left.
Well, I can't help you there. You can't go back. It's too far. There's no reason to regret decisions that you can't do anything about.
I think I would like you to hearts and mind your fellow bandits back into rebels rather than bandits to bring up their morale. So can you roll a hearts and minds for me?
Yeah, I think this is probably with Earth. Let's see. It's 7, 8 then.
That's an 8 then. So on a 7 to 9, you choose 2 from the list from the hearts and minds.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Let's see. I gain 1 plus on going against them. I guess I don't know if
that
makes sense.
It's a bit. Yeah, you're right. The move sort of changes direction halfway through. If it's a
I guess I can create. Yeah, I think I know what I am going to do. So I think like I say, remember that who the enemy is and why you're here. There wouldn't be a lot of. There's a reason you went out of the forest, and I think I'm alienating the great animosity between them and the leaders.
The Emperor, yeah. Okay. He looks down at his feet and says, "I'm ashamed of my cowardice. You're right. We must do this. Otherwise the mountains will never be free, and neither will the woods remain free." He nods, sort of making up his kit and starts pushing around the others who were being a bit reluctant to move as well. So didn't you hear what Ping said? We're doing this for our people. And I think at this point, also Scarlet Mantis approaches Tiger Eye and says, is your journey truly to the top of the mountain?
Yes, that is our goal.
And what do you seek there?
We seek the blade of the Stone Master, the Earth Master, or the shards thereof, if there are any.
A bold quest indeed. It is forbidden by the Emperor on pain of death to travel to the top of that mountain.
That is a good sign, I think. If he doesn't want us to find anything there, then that is where we must go.
If you'll have me, I will travel with you.
I will ask you one thing before traveling with you. What is the stance of the blossoming? What's the name of the sect? Sorry. The Blooming Lotus sect. Of the Blooming Lotus sect on the Emperor. Where do they stand? Where do their loyalties lie? And is there something like pierce the mask or read her? There's some study move, I think. Because I really
Yes, it's a study. It will be a study.
Yeah, because I want to see what she says, and then I want to study her. To see
sure. So I think you can roll a study, and then I'll respond to you in terms of what you want to do.
Okay, I roll study with Earth. And I have a 7-8. So I get to ask some questions, I think. I gain 1. Okay. Yeah, ask a question about a person. I want to know if she's honest. She's level with me.
So I'm going to respond and give Leandro, because it's his faction, the ability to simply say at the end of this whether I've interpreted this correctly and she's correct, or whether she is an absolute liar at this present moment in time. Seems the fairest way to do this. So it says, the Emperor has imbalanced the world, and we are not his friend. It is, and it was better that there were the 4 masters. When there is one, it brings a corruption. The powers and the elements were not meant to be brought together under one master. We oppose him. Leandro, can I ask you if you believe that is honest of your sect's opinions?
I think there's a truth in the sense that they don't stand with the Emperor. They think themselves above that. They think themselves they're the arbiters of natural law. But this formulation about the 4 masters, that feels like something Scarlet Mantis thought of herself. That's probably something she believes is what the Blooming Lotus sect should, their stance should be on the 4 masters. So she's not lying. She's fanatical.
Yeah. There's your answer. She's not lying, but she is devoted to her sect and her cause.
Okay, then I will believe her, and she can come with us. And I welcome her help.
No, I'm kidding.
What? Sorry?
I changed my mind. She's totally lying.
Well, okay.
No, fine. Okay, so we will cut from that scene and to Green Owl and Sable Serpent, who wanted to talk.
Yeah, I think this is before Green Owl sets forth, and I don't see Ludo till October. I think it's just like, yeah, just right before, and it's like I've taken her aside. Well, not aside, but kind of like just so I need to talk for a moment. And I think I just ask her, like, do you happen to know where Tiger Eye will be?
Yes, I do. Actually, that's a good idea. And she gets to her stuff and reveals the silken bundle which the broken the green dragon saber rests. If per any chance I lose or get delayed, or I win, which is more likely, and then Eagle Sentinel goes back on her word, I want you to take this to Tiger Eye. Uh, Wayne knows where their camp is. Uh, he was there before, so he'll be able to take you there. So if anything happens to me, if you don't hear anything, just rendezvous with Tiger Eye and give the sword back to him.
I take the bundle and say, I'll definitely try, but the last time I saw Tiger Eye, he did not seem like he would want to see me again. I did what you told me to do, and well, frankly, it's muddied things up quite a bit.
Tiger Eye is an honorable leader. He knows what is at stake, and he does not lose sight of the greater picture. You will have an audience with him and be able to speak with him no matter what, because that's the kind of person that he is. Whatever happened between the two of you, he's not the kind to let a grudge interfere.
I think inner conflict does feel like a
Yeah. Let me reread Inner Conflict. It's been a while. Anything except style element. Cool. I think I'm trying to feel. I think I'm wrong with Earth. I'm trying to like absorb. I'm trying to like focus on what's happening. And yeah, that's a 4. Not rolling the best today. Mark another XP. So I think I take the bundle and like I do not, and like I understand. I hope that is the case, Green Owl. But there are things honorable men must do, and I fear one of those things is they will not suffer someone like me to live.
And Green Owl is on a bad mood, and she frowns at this. Are you not a player of weapons? Are you not a hero of this land? If you need to face him honorable, if he needs to meet steel with steel before he can buy on your words, are you not willing to back you up? Was I wrong about you?
If you thought I was a hero, Greeno, then yes, you were wrong. Because I'm not a hero. I lurk in the dark. I don't play with honor. I use it. That's what I do, Greeno.
Well, then why are you here? I must to ask you.
I'm obligated to be here.
Is that not honor?
That's duty.
Is there a difference?
Honor is what compels you to do good. duty is what compels you to do what must be done.
I see no difference between those two. One is just what you must be done for yourself, and what is you must do for the world. There's a way more overlap that you want to believe, but clearly my words are not reaching you.
Well, you've entrusted me with a duty, Green. I'll do what I can.
Not so fast. You must prove that you are able to do it. And she assumes a fighting stance.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Prove yourself to me if you are going to live with the weapons of my master.
If it pleases you, Green Owl. And gently put the bundle down. Sure, why not? I didn't say to say that. I say that.
Okay, so we're going to have our first PC v PC duel. What are the terms? So when you're challenging another PC, say what you will give them if they accept your victory. You may offer unspent XP, counteractions, burning bonds, changes to entanglements, letting them narrate the moment, or anything in the game that I approve. You put a single offer on the table. If the other players accepts, you lose the duel and mark XP. You must follow through on your offer. If the other player rejects the offer, you both mark an element. The offered player chooses to win or draw. So, Green Owl challenge Silver Sable. At this point, Silver Sable is a Marvel character and not who we have in the game.
No, she's way more immoral.
Yeah. So, what is the terms of the duel that Green Owl is offering Sable Serpent?
I'm gonna give Sable Serpent full narrative control.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll accept that. I definitely think Green Owl definitely should win this. Sable Serpent is clearly in the dumps. And it's just, yeah, she's going through the motions. So I think, yeah, I'll take that offer. We'll get to narrate.
Just from my point, I think one thing I want you to resolve in the fiction you describe this is whether or not that Green Owl feels that Sable Serpent is worthy of leaving with the shattered Green Master's blade. I think that's quite important for us to decide because it has big impact on the further direction of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take the offer, and with Green Owl, actually, Sable Serpent has full control of the narrative of the scene. So would you like to describe exactly what happens, and then we can figure out Green Owl's reaction at the end of it?
Okay, so Green Owl's style is the mountain shaking turtle, which seems to me like it's correct me if I'm wrong with this, Ludo. It's one with big movements, powerful. But the thing with big movements is, they take time to get around, and Sable Serpent is, one of quick action and quick and startling action. And I think there is at the start, it's almost like, yeah, Sable Serpent still is kind of going through the motions, like very much a programmatic, oh, I know how to take care of big enemies. But because it's so programmatic, it's almost a bit lazy. So Green Owl, being as tough and smart as she is, she can see that Sable Serpent is not doing her best. So I think there's a moment where Green Owl just manages to catch Sable Serpent in the shoulder, and kind of like smacks her to the ground and probably says some one-liner sort of thing. And Sable Serpent, in response to that, just grits her teeth. And okay, so I took a move called Reign of Assassins, which basically becomes undetectable in the shadows. So that's just what happens, because I've got control here. I don't have to roll for that. But in the fiction, so what happens is that Sable Serpent just like throws a knife. Green Owl kind of deflects, and suddenly she sees that Sable Serpent has just kind of just melted into the shadows of, which is weird because we're kind of in a clearing. I think I've decided, so it's hard to tell. And there's a moment where like Green Owl thinks like, Sable Serpent has run away, and I think how this ends is you feel a knife to the back of your neck, Green Owl, and you hear Sable Serpent say like, the difference between honor and duty is that honor inhibits. Duty lets you do whatever you need to do to fulfill it. And she presses the knife point to the back of your neck.
Let's move back into roleplay from the duel there. And how does Green Owl react?
Angrily, I have been a thief, but I have not for one moment stopped being honorable. This seems to me like an excuse that you tell yourself more than anything. You talk about shadows, but what you're gonna do when there is no light to create the shadows that you need to work? You need to learn something new, something besides whatever your sect told you if you are to become someone worthy of fighting on behalf of the land and on behalf of the restoration of the masters. And I guess this is a case of an inner conflict to see if she gives the blades or not. Because she wants to, because she knows it's the right thing to get to Tiger Eye, but she has this inner conflict now if it should be this person to carry it. And I'm gonna roll with, I don't know, metal. Yeah, metal. And I have a 5.
I'll give you a moment to think about that, and I'll cut across to the other two. Tiger Eye and Dirty Fist, you've traveled for another day, going up the steep mountain passes. Probably about an hour's march away up the pass, you can see a soul figure standing there waiting for you.
Well, let's see who that is.
Do you go together alone? Do you take your troops with you?
I would ask my troops to stay behind because we don't know who that is. Ping, I don't know if you want to come with me or do you want to stay with the troops?
Yeah, I'm coming with.
Okay, then we'll ask Scarlet Mantis to stay with the troops.
You take the stiff climb up, growing closer and closer to see a figure with they are dressed in shining metal armor. They wear black silk trousers. Their feet are in sandals, and they have a dowel blade in their hand, and they're standing on one leg as you start approaching Moon Sworn Heart, as you see her features come into view. Moon Sworn Heart, she is in sort of a meditative state on one foot, leg folded, eyes closed as you approach, and then they snap open. And she says, "Hello, Tiger Eye."
Moon Sworn Heart, greetings.
I cannot let you pass.
I have to.
The Emperor has decreed that none shall stand upon this mountain top. It is a monument to his victory. I cannot let you pass, as much as I would like.
None shall stand. What if I do not promise you that I will not stand?
I think you are going to have to try and hearts and minds her to see if you can use. You probably should have taken a bond actually for the maybe with her, but as well, yeah.
That's okay.
But let's see how your words.
I think I'll use water. It's not one of my strongest suits, and I don't think I'll get into this without a fight. But I have a 7 at least. No, I don't. I have a 6. Haha. No, that's not very successful. My heart isn't in it, really.
I think she smiles fondly and says, "Unfortunately, there is no nuance to the instruction. Nothing living may pass me here." And she sort of points the sword to the two of you. How does Ping react?
I think, I mean, of course, you see Ping in her very terrible disguise behind the Tiger Eye, and just breaking up her knuckles, ready to fight. And I think hoping that she won't be convinced to go past. And I think she steps forward a bit and says, "I don't understand why we are trying to convince this person who's represent everything we hate. Why don't we just beat them?"
It is a fair question, Ping. I roll in a conflict, right? Because I have a bond, I have an entanglement with her, and I think that's totally appropriate. I roll inner conflict here with, I think I've marked, do I mark water when I fail a roll with it?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, then well, I'll roll this with, I think, metal. Let's see how that goes. No, it goes better. It's a 7. So that means that I either flee the scene, I guess, which I won't, or I have to mark an element. I'll mark another element because marking elements is fun. I'll mark wood appropriately. No, I'll mark metal because I've used that. Okay, so I will, and I get an XP for in a conflict. Okay, so I will stiffen my back and say, "All right, Ping. My heart should not rule me on my duties. Once worn heart, please stand aside. I do not wish to fight you, but I will if I have to."
Her form is perfect. As the point of the sword is pointed at you. She's probably about 6 steps away, and she says, "I have no love for the Emperor, but he offers me a simple chance across all of the kingdoms to find anyone capable of beating me. I have never been defeated. Are you the one who will defeat me, Tiger Eye? And who are you?" He points at Ping.
I am no one.
Then you will bear witness if Tiger Eye is foolish enough to die in this place.
And I turn to Ping and say, if I if I should die in this place, please take my swords back to Y and Green Owl.
I nod.
And then I will attack. Because enough talking now.
She is above your scale.
I thought so.
Yeah, you name a character to feature in the first session.
No, that's fine.
So you will still roll on a duel with your style element.
Mm-hmm.
I think perhaps I'm helping here. If that's a thing.
Where there is, you can spend a bond, can't you, in a duel to help, I think. What I will suggest is that it is likely that this fight will be lost, but you could study at this point, Ping, while this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, yeah.
So you still roll Tiger Eye?
Yes, I roll.
Yes,
sure.
do.
I roll. I have 5-7.
On a hit, you may declare how you lose, but on a 7 to 9, you mark an element. So
Okay.
you control the narrative and describe the fight.
Okay, so I guess what's happening is that I attack and I am... Now, Tiger Eye is really good usually at controlling a fight. He usually knows where to put his sword, but truth to be told, Moonsworn Heart is better. She has iron control. She doesn't move an inch from where she's standing. And she just lets Tiger Eye run into open air and into the void. And I think this will mean, can I, instead of marking an element, can I mark wounded?
Yes, I think you can, yeah.
Then I will do that, because that is what happens. So then at one point he rushes at her with a jump, and he jumps over her. And he thinks he has her, and he has cut a single strand of her hair, which he's cut open his side. And he falls down and is incapable of continuing to fight. But he's not dead. So maybe Ping can get him away at that point.
She takes a piece of hide from her pocket and wipes the blood off her blade and looks at Ping and says, "You are nameless. Take him away. I have fondness for him, and today I spare his life. If he comes again..." Do you want to roll your study, actually, Mikhail, before you make your respond there?
Yeah, I think... Let's see what I'm rolling with here. Maybe I think perhaps I am rolling with the water here.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8. Study. Yeah, I'm gonna learn a person scale.
You already know she's above you, quite significantly above you. So I will let you choose another one on top of that, because I think I've given that away. She is the finest fighter you have ever seen.
Oh no. Okay, I think I want to ask a question about her.
Sure.
Why does she fight for the Emperor?
She doesn't fight for the Emperor. She fights for herself. The Emperor just gives her the best foes. Everything that she does is about improving and mastering her craft. She has never been defeated.
That seems like a thing for another episode, convincing her that the best opponents are in fact when you fight against power. Cool.
Yes. Cool. We're going to cut back to the others in a moment, but can you just give me 2 minutes, folks, and then I will rejoin and we'll see what happens with the swords.
Oh, I do want to apologize, Ludo. I just remembered I was meant to lose that duel. It's a moral loss, let's say.
Yeah, because you kind of proved her point by winning.
No, as I was gonna say I was about to quote DJ Khaled, but he didn't sing that song. T-Pain sang that song. All she does is win. All she wants to do is win. So can you believe that like this? So after this, I'm GMing a game of Spire later today. Tomorrow, I'm GMing Masks, and that game of Masks is gonna be, let's see, the 6th game I've GM'd since Friday.
You're very active.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do it. Me running 2 weeks already strain.
It's just
Did you say you run 6 games on the Gauntlet this week?
well, not all of them are on. Well, actually, only
Wow.
one of them was off Gauntlet, but it's just how the months worked out. Because Friday was the last day of August, so it's finishing up a series from there, and then yesterday was yesterday was the last day of August, so I was finishing up another series from there, and then today was the first day of September, and I just put out like, oh yeah, I'll put on games on Sunday, and I forgot. Oh yeah, no, there are days before that. So that's how it happened.
Impressive. Okay, let's cut our scene back to back to Sable Serpent and Green Owl. What was Green Owl's? What did Green Owl decide? What was her outcome?
So the thing is, it's going to be everything is going to go way worse. So Green Owl, she just puts the bundle with the swords back, and she grabs her hammer and puts it against Sable Serpent's chest. Take this. This should be proof that you were with me to Tiger Eye. I cannot trust you with the swords. I'm gonna take them with me for my duel.
I think I just yanked the hammer then out of your hand and say like, why? Now this I don't understand. Why concern yourself so much with my absolution? Or is it just another means to an end?
Maybe, I don't know. I like Pink, I like Tiger Eye, and I want to like you, but you make it very hard. So I hope that in the meantime, you improve enough that I don't have to struggle so much to like you.
No, I had a sentence in my head, but no, Sable Serpent is not going to say, well, I'm not going to make it easy. No, that's just something for us.
Okay, let's draw the line down on that scene, and the next scene will probably be the final scene of today's game, which is about a day later at the head of the valley, where we see Green Owl starting to approach the standing form of Eagle Sentinel. Eagle Sentinel's weapon is a large greatsword, more like a halberd. It takes in 2 hands and a big curved blade, and she has it and is resting on it as she sees Green Owl approach. Where are my wagons, Green Owl? You promised me goods. You are not changing the terms of our deal, are you?
I barely made it on time by foot myself. We will have to be waiting more 2 days if I would have to be dragging the oxen and the donkeys behind. Where is the wine, sister? I thought we were going to drink to that. Do you have a bowl?
She takes a wine skin and takes a sip from it, and you can see the glisten of the wine on her lips, and she throws it across to you. Here.
Bitter but strong stuff. Just as I like it.
It keeps you warm in the mountains. So, shall we begin?
Come on, what is the hurry? Why don't we share more wine and converse a little?
As you wish.
Good. I mean, after all, we're going to be seeing a lot of each other, no matter the outcome.
You have not got your hammer with you. Do you intend to fight me with bare hand?
I could, but I have been thinking that I should take a different approach. After all, the last time I used a hammer against one of your people, I was too clumsy. A hammer can get tangled up in the mountains, stacking rocks. I have brought shorter blades for this.
She nods and says, then, one more glass of wine, and we will find out whom between us will
Sounds
lead.
good to me. So I went to use tracing shadows so that I know their connections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, it says roll, but does not say what, if it's a move.
You choose your element as you normally would.
Just that. Okay. So I would say water. It's always my go-to in case of doubt. So I have an 8. So an 8. Okay, so they are aware. I get +1 forwards on heart and mind on them, and I learn their entanglements and the secret they would prefer to remain hidden.
I can easily give you a secret at this point, I think, and I'll work out the entanglements for you. Make a note I need to do that. I can give you one of those, actually. You know that... actually, no, you don't. No, she wasn't. She wasn't on the character introduced. So, a piece of secret that you learn is this duel is not unexpected, and she is in the service of a ghost.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to follow up with Hearts and Minds to get her to sleep out more information about that.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to keep, again, water.
I think if you're looking for more into secrets information, that's more of a study than a Hearts and Minds. You're trying to,
no, I don't want exactly want information.
All right,
I want
cool.
to manipulate her.
Okay.
Yeah, before the duel, so because I get the feeling she has some kind of supernatural advantage. Maybe I should try to get her to get rid of that. And I have a 12. So 12.
Well done. So they bow to your words and do what you want to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. I thought I had to make some sort of no.
No, not on a 10+. What do you want them to do?
So basically, what I want to do is that they meet me as a peer, as a living peer, and not on whatever terms the ghost that has been manipulating her or convincing her or lending its power terms. So I want, to be really a duel between us as persons instead of whatever manipulations are going out from beyond the veil.
Okay, I will give you +1 forward on this this interaction then with this duel because she hears your words and says, "You are wise indeed." Says, "I am here to test you, and if you are tested well, I will take you to my master."
Sounds good.
So she is a foe on your scale if you want to move into the duel, but do remember you're taking an additional +1 forward on your roll.
Okay, let's go into the duel then. Okay. Do I have a disadvantage because I'm using a weapon I'm unfamiliar with?
No.
Okay, so then that will be another 12.
Then you win the conflict. I mean, may mark XP if you show them mercy or let them escape. So do you want to describe from the point where you reveal the blade through into the duel and what you do at the end?
Yeah, so Green Owl basically unveils, what is their weapons again?
It's a great sword, effectively big arced blade, and 2 hands that she wields on it. She swings it around with great force.
So Green Owl is basically taking a defensive stance, and she has one hand on the wield of the green saber and another like poised against the blade, hiding that the blade is split. So it's always like she's ready to parry, and she spends all the time approaching, getting closer. Whenever gets a measurement of the reach of Eagle Sentinel, and whenever he goes to swing, she steps back or feigns to parry, but then as Eagle Sentinel keeps adapting because she's clearly expert at dealing with people that try to parry her mongoose weapons. And as this seems that she's cornering Green now more and more. And at the last moment, it seems like Green Owl has no solution but to force a parry when she should dodge. And with a smirk, Eagle Sentinel predicts the victory. But as the blade is already committed to the swing, the Green Owl opens the left hand and reveals that it's actually a fragmented blade and splits the blade apart, and the great sword lands into the ground, and then Green Owl just cuts towards the handle, forcing her to drop the weapon, and with the hilt side of the blade puts it against her throat. I told you they were short blades.
She smiles and releases her weapon. Are you showing her mercy? It sounds like you are.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I mean, that
do
was
mark
the
mark an XP for that. And she says, "My master awaits us, and the mists clear into the valley, and a ghostly form is standing there." The form looks at you and says, "You carry the sword of an old friend, Green Owl."
Are
What?
you
No, you carry on.
Are you the second master?
Ha! I was Turbulent Stone. I am his spirit. This land is my land, and even if you take my body, you will not take me from this place.
I have no intention to do so. Why don't we sit, Shade? I have much to learn from you.
Indeed. And first among those is how my hammer, and these stones will reforge that blade. And we'll draw down and conclude the game part of the session there. And I will stop the broadcast now.